Welcome. I'm Jennifer Damashek. I am a member of the C Community of Care, and I'm part of the team that's developing GoalPost. And I'm really glad to be here to show you how GoalPost works. But before I do that, I just want to give a little bit of context and background of GoalPost. So our project that we're calling GoalPost is an open source, privacy-centered app designed to support communities of care. And at its heart, GoalPost helps individuals and communities articulate and align their goals and resources in ways that really nurture long-term, um, trust-based relationships centered in care. The long-term vision that we have for GoalPost is to become a shared knowledge vault for individuals and communities. And the knowledge vault will make it easy to store, to organize, to share knowledge and resources within trusted circles, with the ability to then intentionally extend that sharing outward into broader networks, but always with security and privacy and full consent. The users will have full control over their data. Our intention is that GoalPost will help communities map what matters most, will align values, resources, and goals, and foster an evolving pattern of mutual care. It's really designed to support a living process where needs and capacities and aspirations are stewarded collectively, and they grow over time in complexity and coherence. Ultimately, we envision GoalPost as a tool that weaves intimate circles of care into large ecosystems of trust and resource flow. We intend that it be interoperable with other open source tools, and that GoalPost will empower communities to connect beyond their core circles while protecting relational integrity and sovereignty. So in essence, GoalPost is both a container and it's a living practice. It's a digital home where relational intelligence and collective wisdom and mutual support can really flourish. So as I get into the demonstration, I really want to make clear that what I'm going to be showing, it's just our current working prototype. It's the very first prototype that we've created. It reflects the seeds of this larger vision, but it's in its very, very early stage. And so the deeper layers of functionality and the interconnectedness are yet to come, and we're building them really carefully, step by step, in co-creation within our community. So I'm going to log in. This is a demonstration instance of GoalPost. So it's just created to be able to show people how it works. And all of the data that's in here is made up. All like Leon Schmidt is not a real person. These are not real communities. These are not real goals. So when a user logs into GoalPost, the first thing they'll see is this home page. And on the left will be the name of the user and the user's connections. The connections are the people that are in this instance of GoalPost that this user has said that they are connected to in a relationship of some kind. In the middle are what's happened most recently in this instance of GoalPost. And on the far right are the communities that are using this instance of GoalPost. So the features are on the left-hand side here. When we go and move the cursor over to the burger menu, it shows us all of the features. So the next feature are the communities. These are the communities that are using this instance of GoalPost. Right here we have 5 communities, but the communities all only have 2 people, and it actually looks like Gaia Haven doesn't have any members. We know that a real life community would have more than 2 members. This is just, like I said, a test instance. And then there's the list of people who are using this instance of GoalPost. At the bottom, you see non-members. So in our first prototype, we are allowing people, the users, to enter people in their network into the instance of GoalPost, even if they're not users of this instance of GoalPost. We would not put any information in here that was not publicly available or that the people did not give consent to having in here. For instance, like these emails. I think this was just generated automatically with the test data. But if the person did not give permission for their emails to be in here, then we would not put them in. We would only have something that's publicly available about the people in here, for instance, like maybe their LinkedIn profile if they have a personal website, something like that. Next in here we have the resources. So resources are added manually right now by the different users of GoalPost. So we can look at different resources that have been added in here. So this was a resource that was added by Alice Green. You can see what has been added by Alice about this resource. If we go in here, we'll see one of the forms. This is how the information is being entered into GoalPost at this time. But in the future, what's going to happen is that resources can be added automatically from a person's device, from your own drive on your laptop, from data that's on your phone. Of course, it's the user has complete control over what is being shared into the GoalPost instance and who is able to see it, but that we don't have that capability yet. So right now, users are entering resources manually into the hub, and so into the GoalPost. And this is a resource of a public Wi-Fi hub. Resources can be linked to goals. This isn't linked to any goals. It can be related to care points. I will explain what a care point is a little bit later, and they can be related to other resources. Okay, the next feature in GoalPost are goals. So users can enter personal goals into GoalPost. For instance, Alice Green has said that she has a goal to encourage residents to cultivate their own gardens. Goals can be aligned to core values. This goal is aligned to the core value of sustainability. It can enable care points, and it can be motivated by people. So even though Alice entered this goal, it's also shared by James Carter. So those were goals. So if we click on goals, we can see all of the goals of all of the different users. So in my instance of GoalPost, I can go in and I can see the goals that all of my community members have entered. And I've learned a lot about my community members that way. Then another feature of GoalPost are core values. We think that it's critical that we have core values as an organizing principle of our goals, our actions, the resources. So this is an important part of GoalPost. Members can add core values and they can describe the values. They can make themselves related to the core value. So Sophie Mueller has said that she has this core value of compassion. Then there can be goals that are aligned to these core values. For instance, there's an animal welfare initiative, and that has a core value it's aligned to the core value of compassion. And communities can be guided by core values. So the compassion circle is guided by the core value of compassion. Then there's care points, which is the aspect of GoalPost which really needs the most explanation. A care point is not a system of keeping track of anything. It's not care points are not something that are accumulated. They are actual places where resources, goals meet. So for instance, there is a care point that has this kind of strange title of Art, Safe Spaces, Play Area, but basically how that title was created is because of what are being connected. So this care point is happening because there are art therapy sessions taking place in safe spaces for youth in children's play areas. So there was a goal that someone had to give art therapy sessions. So to use art as a tool for emotional healing and expression. And there was also a goal to create safe spaces for youth. And there's a resource of a children's play area. So all of these things have been connected in this care point. And the reason why we want care points in GoalPost is that we want to be able to, first of all, have care points offered to members. So if a person has a goal and another person enters in a resource that could help a person reach that goal, then a care point could be suggested. But a care point isn't actually made unless the the people involved decide that they want to connect them. So for here, the members decided that they wanted to provide art therapy sessions in and create safe spaces for youth and use the children's play area. So because this is actually happening, a care point was created. And then you can see here we have success measures. So we want these care points to be built out, to be developed so that we can learn from them. I want to give an actual real life example of a care point so that maybe this will help you understand exactly what we mean by this. My husband and I wanted to leave our house in winter and travel to Greece to work with our community members to create this prototype of GoalPost. So where we live in northern Maine gets extremely cold in the winter, and we did not want to leave our house for 3 months and not have it be cared for. So we mentioned to community members that we had this need, and we were actually quite surprised that community members in our circle offered to stay in our house for 3 months. And it was actually a blessing to them. It actually benefited them. And so that was a care point. There was a desire or a need they were being met by the connection of uh, the house and people coming to care for the house. And so in this care point, we have an actual care point created in our instance of GoalPost. And in there is the care manual that my husband and I created to help our community members know how to care for our house, all the information that you need to know how to take care of things, like who to call if something breaks, how do you get the heating oil, things like that. Um, so that is in the care point. And all of the people involved in that care point can go in and describe how did it go so that that care point is saved and other people can learn from it in the future. Just like everything else in the current prototype of GoalPost, this is all being added manually. So the care points in our instance of GoalPost, we create them. But hopefully in the next phase of GoalPost, these will begin to be generated by AI. So that for instance, when a resource is entered and it potentially matches a person's goal, then a care point can be suggested by the AI. Okay, the other feature of GoalPost is a chatbot, which has not really been functional yet. We haven't gotten that working, but hopefully it will give accurate responses in the next prototype. And then we also have the graph visualization. GoalPost is built on a graph database, and that means that we are able to generate graph visualization. So these are the resources that are added that have been added to this instance of GoalPost. They can be connected to people. People can be connected to core values. And we can look at these and we can see who it's connected to. And then people and care points can be connected and goals. and resources can all be connected. We can see how they're all related. So that is basically what I wanted to show you. I don't think there's anything else, but if you're watching this and you're really interested in it, you have further questions, please reach out to us. You can go to our website and enter in a question. There's a contact form. So thank you very much for your attention.